Welcome to another episode of Dexian Talks, an initiative by Dexian India. My name is Ranjini Rajashekar, your host for this episode. Today we have with us Mr. Richard Rekhy, Vice Chairman at Grant Thornton Bharat LLP, and former CEO of KPMG India, a respected leader known for his vision, authenticity, and people-first approach to leadership. With decades of experience in consulting, governance, and business transformation, Richard has inspired countless professionals through his work and his thought leadership. Welcoming Richard to this show. Hello, Richard.
Thank you very much for having me on this show, and I'm really honored and privileged that you've invited me. I've been seeing some of your shows and they're really good.
Okay.
And I'm really pleased to be on this show. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure, Richard, to have you with us today. How are GCCs helping organizations accelerate digital transformations globally?
So what has happened, if you see in the world, technology has become all pervasive in our lives.
Okay.
And now it is AI which has taken over the world. And as AI, machine learning has taken over the world, I think the companies, the global companies or their parent offices have very old systems and processes in their, and they are large organizations. To shift an elephant is not easy.
Right.
And so the GCCs became a great strategic input for the CEOs and the leadership and the board to be able to achieve some of their digital transformation ideas. India being a land of more than 50 to 60% of the world GCCs are operating in India.
Right.
And what these companies are realizing is that by coming to India or coming to GCCs as such, they are able to bring the digital part of their transformation, efficiencies in their processes, cost reduction, R&D, innovation, maybe come out with very new ways of doing business.
Interesting.
Because also one more thing what happened was recent events have shown that today you got to trim your cost, and this became a great thing, and trimming cost is one part of it.
Okay.
But how do you bring efficiencies, profitability and grow? That's where GCCs come and play a big role.
So interesting. I liked how you spoke about the entire journey and the transformation GCCs are driving today. So in what ways are GCCs contributing to enterprise resilience post-pandemic?
So I would use one more word. After pandemic, a new word came up. It is not a new word, but it got a new meaning called anti-fragile.
Interesting.
So resilience is okay. You know, resilience where you fall down, you get up, you again get up. But when you build anti-fragility into an organization, what happens is you are now looking at growth and not survival. So resilience is when you look at survival, you look at how do you go there. But when you look at anti-fragility, so now, and not only for corporates, for human beings also. People today, you keep hearing people are stressed out, they are getting, all sorts of things. So people should learn to become anti-fragile. Corporates need to become anti-fragile because as we go through life, we need to become much more stronger, take the hits and move on. And I think that's where GCCs have come. And because being in different time zones, being in different places, because as you know, the pandemic has affected the world very differently.
True,
in some places it had a bigger effect, some places a lesser effect. So India was impacted, it had its speeds, but it was not all that as many other countries suffered.
Right.
So I think we jumped up much faster and we helped a lot of the recovery that happened in the world because the GCCs were up and running very soon and all that happened. And people thought at one point of time whether this whole outsourcing business will also die, but it has grown even much bigger than what it is.
Yeah, very true. And I like this, term that you used, anti-fragile, and that resonates a lot when I think of resilience. Thanks for sharing, Richard. So what factors beyond cost influence the decision to locate a GCC in India?
So the first factor is India's got the best talent, or one of the best talents in the world.
Right.
The maximum number of engineers, innovators, entrepreneurs, people who work very hard. The average Indian is very hardworking, thinks out of the box, very innovative in their thoughts. They're able to develop new solutions. You give them a challenge, they're up to it. You tell them work long hours, they're up to it. So Indians are very flexible. And they are not like other employees who will say, no, I'll work only so much. They don't care about it. They work because they want to make their life, they want to go up, they want to get promoted. So the Indians are pretty ambitious. And I always say India is a land of 1 billion entrepreneurs. And because even when they work, they have that entrepreneurial spirit and they want to do something. They are always in a competitive spirit. So that is one. The second reason GCC is locating to India is the time zone in which we are. We are between the Southeast Asia, between Europe. Our location is very good. We have got one of the best, I would say, a central location. Take the globe, we would be almost centrally located, somewhere near the center in location. Number three, I think coming to India, Indians know English. That was a big advantage, so that there is no language issue here. They speak English well, they understand, they are able to communicate with because all the people who have outsourced are basically English-speaking countries, the US, UK, Europe, everywhere. So it has been very useful from that point of view. Also, what I found is in some cases, even where there's a language barrier, Indians are very happy to learn Chinese, Japanese, and get that also going. So the flexibility part of it. And also when we talk of locating to India, I would say our weather is not so harsh. Like in some other, you go to the US, hurricanes are hitting, this is hitting. There is some kind of, but it's not so much which is there. In fact, I keep wondering, why do all these GCCs keep coming to Bangalore? And a lot of them come to Bangalore, though it's overcrowded, it is there. But the weather is what attracts everybody out there. The weather is beautiful right through the year. And so the other locations which have come in. And also what I would say is that GCCs, when they first came in, there was a reason they came in was cost. But later on they realized that they can actually bring the front office and do it out of India. I don't remember which thing, it was a Harvard or somebody or some professor who said one day the world will outsource CEOs from India. So they will be sitting and running it through these GCCs, so it is because the talent, and if you look at most global CEOs, many of them are Indians. So there is so the talent, which number of our people who have gone out and succeeded have been great brand ambassadors for this country.
Very true. Very, very insightful, whatever you've shared right now, especially Indians being ambitious and some of our Indian CEOs doing exceptionally well. I completely endorse what you're saying.
And the turnaround of the companies, you look at Microsoft, Satya Nadella turned it around, Sundar Pichai turned around Google. So they have just not been CEOs, they have been turnaround masters.
Absolutely.
And they have succeeded and done very well. And even today, NVIDIA, which just became a $5 trillion listed company, has got many Indians in the top leadership.
Agree.
Yeah, and in the top leadership, a number of Indians are there.
As an Indian listening to you, it's such a moment of pride for me. And very, very interesting. So, how can India further position itself as a global hub for digital and innovation center?
So, I think this was one industry which was not touched by the government and by many other things. It was an industry which grew out of a requirement from global. And it just prospered. And, and individuals were there, great companies came, outsourcing became a big thing. I think where India could have done better was in innovation, in R&D, in developing some big good products for the world. See, today in this whole AI revolution, we don't have a product. And with all the largest IT companies we have, So many of them are there. Nobody has got down to building a product. So we have been doing services. And yes, there is going to be a lot of AI services which are going to get done. So India will do well there. But I think where India, you asked me what India could have done better. I would say if they had rooted some of their profits into innovation, building products, and going to the market with an India developed AI product. It would have been a great booster, and would have, you see, the products is what brings you valuation, which gives you also branding. It gives you many other things. So, and a lot of these Indians have been involved in product development outside. So we could have done it here.
True.
But it requires a little bit of patience. It requires some of your profitability to go down. So are you willing to do that and not go by the easy route of, because many of the IT companies, what do? They do body shopping. They just send bodies, people do the work, and and the scale and size is so large because it is saving so many millions or billions of dollars on the global balance sheets. So that's where the outsourcing industry has succeeded. But I think innovation is something, I'm just repeating it again, because if we do not innovate, the game is not over yet. We still have an opportunity to do something which will put India on the world map. And I think that's where we need to go. And that's where maybe the other things could have been, there's not enough mentoring being done, not enough of this kind of things which could be done, which could help organizations, maybe some amount of, I think, infrastructure support from the government on this, and saying, okay, this is a great industry, is contributing so much to our exports and our GDP. Why can't we not do something for it, kind of. So I think those are things which one could have looked at.
So you touched upon a very powerful thought that it's very important that we step up and innovate, right? India has to innovate. So what do you think are some of the current bottlenecks we're grappling with when it comes to innovation?
Okay, I'm not a great believer we should be doing this, but I'm going to say it nevertheless. I think some incentive needs to be given for companies that do R&D, original R&D, I'm saying. Original R&D and innovation, genuine R&D. I think if that can be done, like a tax incentive or some sort of incentive given to them, because that will propel this company to do so much more that the country will earn more tax ultimately. So I think there needs to be some kind of regulatory kind of push-ups which should be given, or impetus being put into the industry to grow. I would look at that as to why India doesn't. Secondly, Indians don't think long-term. Indians think short-term. They look at a business plan. What is my profit? What is my loss? I look at a 5-year vision. Does India ever look at a 20-year vision and say, where do I want to be 20 years from now? I just want to give one small example. UK in one of the Olympics, I think it was 1996, or maybe I'm wrong on the dates, but they just won some 2 gold medals. They went back to the drawing board. They put out a 20-year vision. And they said, in 20 years, we want to win so many gold medals. And they went about it and they achieved it. They went and won 65 gold medals. And it was not a flash in the pan, because they hit their peak during the London Olympics when they had the maximum medals, medal tally. And it was done because they tried to understand the problem. So they didn't go that, okay, next Olympics, what should I do? Because they said, if we don't get medals, we need to build our athletes for the future. So similarly, as a country, we need to plan much ahead and just not for the short term. We are very short term thinkers, and only for this year's profit, next year's profit. That's it. 5-year also, I don't think how many companies do, honestly. I mean, from that point,
So, that was a very powerful vision, I must say, that they were carrying. And of course, it translated into whatever they were looking at.
And they got Sebastian Coe to lead it, a sportsman. He came in there and they put the 2 things which very stood out in that Olympic UK's hall was they had one day called the Thinking Thursday.
Interesting.
So on Thursday they did nothing. The athletes were told to go and think, how can they improve? And, so all those incremental improvements, thinking Thursday, every Thursday, no practice, just think. So I think we need to have thinking maybe Monday or thinking Tuesday, whatever it could be. But as companies, we need to use this for innovation, for coming up with new thoughts, ideas, encouraging employees. I think this is where India lacks. India lacks long term. And this is, so we have got a great population, we have got some challenges today, currently in the Indian economy. Our consumption is falling, we need to get it up. So, so some things we need to work back on. How do we get the economy back on track and to do well?
Thanks for sharing, Richard, especially, such a simple act that was, right? Thinking Thursday. But it translated into something powerful.
And one more thing he did also. He said, where do people win maximum medals? And where do sports people don't compete? So he went for all those games, and he went into the villages of UK, picked up athletes from there, trained them from young, and went to all those medals which won many, into those sports which won many medals. So that's why increased the medal tally. So I think that is something that maybe we as a country can also do, We've got such a large country, we've got these villages, we've got the rural India, strong people. How do you train them from young? How do you get them mentally ready for the big time, How do you... The problem is that they are not... Okay, we're not talking of sports, but that can be applied anywhere. So the same thing if we...
True. And more importantly, it's such a purposeful vision, no? Especially going into the villages, looking at talent there and upskilling them. It's such a powerful act. Especially for transforming.
But remember one thing, they got a sports guy who was himself a great sportsman to lead this revolution. So you need a sports person to lead it. So similarly in the industry, you need a good thinker. We have got great thinkers in this country. How can they lead this innovation challenge which we have got and take it forward? Coming back to your question, basically.
Another classic example of eclectic thinking, I must say. Because the inspiration is coming from a completely different field. So very, very interesting, Richard. Thanks for sharing this.
Thank you.
In your own journey from leading KPMG India to mentoring young professionals, what moment or setbacks shaped you the most as a person and as a leader?
Actually, this journey started very early for me. Somewhere along the line, I got a feeling I'm destined to become something in life. I used to work in a mid-sized accounting firm. And one of my friends came and said, one day you will be a CEO of a Big Four.
Wow.
I said, I've not even joined the Big Four, so how will I become a CEO? He said, you have the talent and the trait. And from there, my journey started when I joined Arthur Andersen. And Arthur Andersen in many ways was a defining moment for me in my life. I would say the best consulting firm on planet Earth. There has never been a firm like that, and there will never be a firm like that. Unfortunately, in 2002, it collapsed. And it was possibly one of the saddest days of many of our lives on that day when the firm collapsed because of certain things that happened. But the people, the leaders who came out of Arthur Andersen went on to lead many organizations. And even today, firm died in 2002. We still have our alumni meets. And one consultant, she asked me, what is that glue that bound the Andersen people to that brand? And I think it was the glue of being the best in class, delivering the best quality of work which the world has not seen, and give clients something they've never heard of. And that was our whole motto as to how we went. And we always stood a class apart. So that's where first I learned. My early mentoring was at Ratan S. Mama, where I started my career. And where I learned true values. I learned to be positive. I learned to give solutions to the clients. And also to give back to society. how do you give back to society?
Nice.
So you just cannot be taking from society to give back.
Okay.
So these are few things that I learned. And then when I came to Andersen, I learned how to be confident, how to be positive, how to do great things, how to think big.
Amazing.
And how to dream big, and then just not dream but go and make it happen.
Okay.
So we used to sweat it out like anything. So people thought, who are these Andersen guys, arrogant guys, just walk around, but they didn't know what hard work goes into building what we built, like sweat and blood which goes into it, keeping up whole nights.
Okay.
I still remember it's maybe not proud today to say it, but there was a time when 52 hours I was working non-stop.
My God.
And just to deliver to a client deadline. So, there was a motivation which got us. There was no thing that it is being forced, but it was just a thing that got us going out there.
Okay.
And then when I came to KPMG, one of the most ethical organizations I've joined, one of the most, they love their people, they respect their people, all the value systems we had were very good. And there was, so the one thing that actually turned my life, if you ask me, was when in Andersen I thought I'd become a partner, I didn't become.
Okay.
And I went and worked very hard in that year.
Okay.
And I suddenly realized I have talent which I didn't know existed. And I went into my reservoir. So to all people who have failings, who fall, please go back. Don't fight the situation. Do some self-awareness. Say, what can you do better? And that's the time I realized there was a lot of talent in me which was not being used.
Okay.
They say now, when you die, I read this somewhere, please die empty. That means you should use all the talent that you have, and before you die. So, and I had that opportunity at that time to understand what I could do.
Okay.
And 2 years later, the firm came and gave me 5-level promotion increases.
Wow.
Brought me back to partner level 5, 6, whatever was there at that time.
Amazing.
And it was a great feeling. That they recognized it. So everybody who believes that you work hard, you don't get rewarded, please look at your life in a time frame of 3 to 5 years, and you'll see that the rewards will come. Hard work never goes unrewarded. So just work hard, things will come. And KPMG, I achieved my final. I became the CEO of the firm. I went on to the global board and had many opportunities on the global board to influence the future of the firm. So I had done many projects globally which influenced the project. And one of the projects that I'm really proud of, which I was involved, was the higher purpose.
Okay.
So just to define to the audience, if your salary is your current account, your higher purpose is your capital account. And it is here where you ask the why of your life. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this interview with you? Why am I coming to this office? Why am I working with this client? We get into the why of our life, I think we would have reached somewhere different to what we are. So we need to keep asking ourselves that question. So the higher purpose is not about money. It's about doing something beyond money. So for me, my personal higher purpose was firm before self.
Wow.
So I never bothered about my own, and money never motivated me. Let me tell you, there was a point in time when money was a big motivation. Something happened in my life. I lost interest in money completely. Money never motivates, even till date it never motivates me.
Such a powerful narration that was, I must say, Richard, especially touching upon experiences in your life, the various stints in the respective organizations that we were talking about, Andersen, KPMG, and so on. And I really liked how you shared that setback that you had, which turned into such a massive success later on. So I'm sure this is going to be very, very insightful for those who are actually, trying to deal with tough situations in their life.
Sure.
So as a HR professional, my personal takeaway from whatever you narrated is firm before self. Yeah, very, very powerful.
I'll tell you one more story, which I think it's important to tell. We won our biggest client at KPMG,
Okay.
It was the biggest ever in terms of revenue, in terms of client. It was a very big company in the US.
Okay.
And we couldn't comprehend how such a company gave us the work in India.
Okay.
But we set up an entire office for them, and the contract was for 5 years. 6 months into the contract got cancelled.
Okay.
And my team was devastated. And that time I was not the CEO, I was just a leader of a practice.
Okay.
So they called me up and they said the contract is cancelled, and you go and enforce the contract.
Okay.
Enforce the contract means you'll take 1 year's compensation for what they'd had to pay you without doing any work.
Okay.
So I went to meet the country head in India. By the way, he's still in touch with me, just to let you know. And I was walking up to, it was in Bangalore, I was walking to that hotel, and with the whole intention of saying we're going to enforce the contract. But something snapped in my gut.
Okay.
And I don't know what, but I was blanked out for some time. I walked in front of him and we spoke for some time. I said, we are devastated, we are broken, but we are not going to enforce the contract. And what he said was, he got up, shook my hands, and he said, you got a client for life. And after that, I can only tell you, till I was in KPMG, we were getting millions of dollars from the same client. When the situation got reversed in the US, they came back. I said, give us the first right of refusal. That's all I asked for.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And great resilience, I must say, to really step up and not be broken.
And my team was very disappointed, but after, when they saw the revenues coming next few years, they said, great decision.
Naturally. Oh, great. That was a very bold act, I must say.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Richard. So you often emphasize respect, humility, and people-first leadership. How do you think these values can be preserved in today's fast-paced, digital, and competitive corporate world?
So I always say that what goes up comes down.
Okay.
Life is a circle. And if you respect people on your way up, that's what they will do on your way down. Everybody has to come down.
Okay.
And if people are respecting you, your fall is little less hurtful. The pain is out of the fall because there are people who are supporting you. So when you reach somewhere, never lose respect for anybody. It could be the junior most employee, it could be the office boy, it could be anybody. And I've personally benefited out of this because I don't talk about it, I live it. So the bag handler, the person who at the airports, the security guards, everybody, they come and help you when you need the help, and suddenly you get it. So hotel staff, so the point is, just be respectful, call people by their names. Right. Everybody likes to be called by their name. Right. Say thank you for whatever service it is. And always, there was this one air hostess who, one of the very senior actresses, she was shouting at her. Okay. And for something which she didn't do wrong. The girl didn't do. She was being arrogant, this lady. So while she got it, she was crying. I told her, don't worry, you did a great job. So, you have to make the person's day. You don't know what they've gone through. So respect for the individual, I think, is very, very important. True. You always got to remain grounded.
Absolutely.
You see, I always say that, so there's one way of respect where you respect people. Okay. One is where you earn respect. So I keep telling people, titles are given, respect is earned. So we have to earn our respect through our work, through what people will see. Absolutely. And when humility, what are we proud about? What are we getting this thing arrogant about? I mean, we are all same. We are same human beings, and just treat them. True. Because one day your title will be taken away from you, and there'll be nobody coming to you. Yeah. But all the good work that you did, the humility with which you treated people, how you talked to them, they will treat you in the same way. And I have never felt it, even after leaving KPMG or anything, that anything became any less from anybody. And my greatest moment was when I went back to the office 5 years or 6 years later, And I was invited for lunch out there. And one of the partners, she came to me and said, a lot of people are waiting to meet you. And who were they? They were all the office boys. So they were there to just say thank you. And they came to know I had come to the office, and they all came to meet. So it's just the way you talk to them. It's the way you behave. So I'm saying be humble. There's nothing to be proud about, because if I get a ceramic cup in which you have given me tea today, maybe I'm worth only that paper cup. So if I'm nobody, maybe next time I come, I'll get a paper cup. So I think we need to be staying in our area and holding on to just not treating people well. That's all I would say. Treat whoever it is, whether it is an office boy or a CEO, treat them same.
Very, very, very powerful and moving, Richard, I must say. These acts of compassion. I just loved how you spoke about the air hostess and what you could do to her at that point, right? I don't think many people who travel would be mindful enough to act the way you did. So very, very powerful and deep and very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. So before I let you go, one last question. In today's environment where people are working long hours, how do you balance your work in life?
So normally people come and ask what's work-life balance, etc. I say no. Let's talk about work-life harmony. If you love what you're doing, it's no more a job, it's no more work. You're loving it, right?
Agree.
But you got to balance your entire life. So I learned this many years back. I was told this story, I didn't understand it. It took me 15 years to understand what this girl told me. There was an employee I was hiring, and she gave me the story of a 5-ball theory. I didn't understand it that time. It took me 15 years to understand what she was trying to tell me. Because once I was sitting back and listening to it, and then I said, we've got 5 balls in our life. We got our family, we got our friends, we've got health, we got spirituality, and we got a job. These are 5 balls, out of which 4 of them are glass balls, the first 4. The job is a rubber ball. It bounces back. The others are glass balls. If they fall, they break. So we need to see how we juggle these 5 balls we have been given to be able to create a work-life harmony and being able to get it out of life. So I think we focus too much on the job. We neglect our family, we neglect our health, our friends, our spirituality, and we try to come back to it when it's too late. Because by the time you come back, the friends are gone, the family is broken, everything has happened. So I think we as youngsters, this is a good thing for youngsters. As you're growing up, make sure you live the life as a human being, the full life, and just not one part of it.
Agree.
So I just thought I'd leave this thought with people as they go in. And I will end up by saying that be a good ancestor and leave your jersey in a better place than you found it.
Nice. Very, very powerful. Leave your jersey in a better place. I'm going to take this with me, Richard. And it was very, very nice listening to you and having you as our guest for this session.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed our conversation. I didn't realize you're an HR person. Now I knew why that empathy was coming out so much. And thank you very much for having me once again. And thank you, Dexian, for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richard. And it is our pleasure to host you. Thank you. We are in the business for good. And this is one of the fantastic sessions we've had so far. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
It's our pleasure.
I think the questions made me speak. Thank you for the good questions you asked.
Thank you. Thank you so much for acknowledging that. And as a token of love and appreciation from Dexian, we have something
Thank
for
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in another episode of Dexian Talks with an interesting guest.
We are Dexian, in the business for good.